for in the House Standing Order number 34, that at the commencement of the House, if a quorum is not present, at least 50 members of the National Assembly, if they are not present and seated inside the chambers, then that means that the House has not quorated yet for it to be able to commence. That would mean that the quorum bell will be rung for 10 minutes, just to give room to the members who might be running late, as well as those who may be within the precincts of Parliament, to give them an alert that the House is about to commence. However, there is a quorum hitch, and that their presence inside the chambers is highly needed. And so as we wait for the members to make their way into the chamber to quorate and for the business to be able to commence, then we shall continue to take a look at that which they will be transacting once and when that particular quorum is raised. Earlier on, I had indicated that the local content bill is coming up for first reading. Just to take a look at what this bill entails, is that it's a bill that seeks to create a framework to regulate local content in Kenya. According to the sponsor of this bill, is that as it is currently, the lack of local content regulatory framework has inhibited the growth of the local industry in key economic sectors as companies incorporated outside Kenya procure their goods, services, supplies, and workforce from other foreign companies. This has resulted to unfair business practices, and that has rendered the local business uncompetitive. This bill further seeks to promote the use of locally manufactured goods and services from local companies, such as transport services, avoid tax evasion, promote the use of locally available workforce, and enhance the benefits harnessed from the supply chain, address the issues relating to transfer pricing, and align with international standards such as the EU, which gives priority to goods and services originating from the EU. So this is a bill that is just coming up for first reading, then move into public participation, as well as that is at the committee stage, and then come back for debate at the second reading. So that is part of the priority business that has been lined up in the order paper this morning. Now, you will recall that the Parliament has a mandate of considering the State of the Nation address that was delivered in Parliament by the President on the 20th, the Thursday of 20th of November, the year 2025. Yesterday, during the afternoon sitting, that is the 25th of November 2025, during the afternoon sitting, National Assembly began day one of their debate on the contents of that particular State of the Nation address, as well as consideration of the reports, the three reports that were submitted to Parliament by the President. That is the 12th annual report on the measures taken and progress achieved in the realization of national values and principles of governance, the 12th annual report on the progress made in fulfilling the international obligations of the Republic of Kenya, as well as the annual report to Parliament on the state of the national security. Now, these reports were laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, the 25th of November 2025, and they are part of that particular State of the Nation address. The debate or the consideration is as provided for in the House Standing Order number 24, paragraph 6, that the thanks of the House be recorded for the exposition of public policy contained in the address of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya, President William Samoei Ruto, that was delivered in Parliament on that Thursday. So that is the priority business that the members of the National Assembly, as they convene this morning, shall be taking into consideration. This morning's sitting, as the members' debate, will be marking day 2 of the debate. And you will recall that when the President was nation address that was done in Parliament and by extension to the entire nation. The president was unequivocal in his praise for the legislators, attributing much of the progress registered since 2022 to their diligence and cooperation in executing its mandate. Members of the National Assembly are making their way into the chamber. Remember, at this particular point, a prayer has already been said and the chair taken, but the commencement of the House is facing a quorum hitch and has not commenced yet. So the Speaker has directed that the quorum bell be rung for 10 minutes, and of course this is as provided for in the House Standing Orders, that at least 50 members of the National Assembly should be present at the time the prayer is said and the chair taken for the House to be deemed to have quorated. However, if that is not present, then that will mean that the House has not quorated and cannot commence. Remember, it is a House of rules and laws and has to abide by its own set rules. So that quorum is what is a hindrance to the commencement of the House. But as we can see, more members are making their way inside, and we believe in a short while that quorum will be raised and the business that is lined up for consideration shall, without any further delay, commence. This morning sitting will be marking day 2 of the debate on the State of the Nation address by the President that was delivered in Parliament on Thursday, the 20th of November. In his speech, the President delivered a wide ranging issues that reviewed his administration's record, acknowledged challenges as well as setbacks, and set out a bold roadmap for future development. Indicated that although there has been some turbulence, citing disagreements, compromise, and storms that at times carried heavy costs, the president insisted that his administration had nonetheless steered the nation toward stability and growth. A number of issues were raised on those that have improved and also some of the challenges. The president cited the quorum is still underway. The quorum bell is still underway. If you're just joining us, that the House is about to commence. 12 minutes past the time that has been allocated for the sitting to commence, that is 9:30. And as you can see, more members are making their way inside the chamber.
What's up, my people? This is presenter Rio Bagene ndani ya Weza TV. Kama kawaida, sio mtu wangu, usicheze mbali, nakwambia siku zote wanasema Waswahili kwamba furaha ni kuwa na marafiki.
Being adjourned. However, the business that is laid out for consideration this morning is one that the members cannot afford to lack that particular quorum or not to raise that much needed quorum, because this sitting marks day 2 of their consideration on the State of the Nation address that was delivered in Parliament at a joint sitting where the members are mandated to debate that address. The Tuesday afternoon sitting marked day 1 and members gave out divergent opinions regarding the address. Many of them, or majority of them, hailing the progress that has been made. Some of the sectors that the president indicated to have made progress regardless of the criticism that came about during the rollout of the projects include the
Sergeant, at times you can ring the bell
healthcare.
for further 5 minutes.
All right, the 10-minute quorum bell has lapsed. The speaker has directed that a further five minutes quorum bell be rung. This means this is the second round of the quorum bell. What that means is that at the lapse of this second round of the 5-minute quorum bell, if no quorum is present, then the speaker shall adjourn the house forthwith to the next sitting. The quorum of the house has to be 50 members, as provided for in the House Standing Order number 34, paragraph 1. And paragraph 2 indicates that if there is no quorum, then the quorum bell shall be on 10 minutes at the first round and a further 5 minutes at the second round. But if at the lapse of the second round the quorum is still not present, then that will mean that the House will adjourn. But back to the business that is priority for the members. This morning, the State of the Nation Address debate day 2. And I was looking at some of the areas or the sectors that the president indicated had made progress have so far made progress. One of the examples the president highlighted was the successful effort to bring inflation under control, indicating that inflation in 2022 stood at 9.6% and has steadily declined to 4.6%. That is as of last month. The president describing that as a significant relief for households that are struggling with the high cost of living. Also pointed out the stability of the Kenyan shilling, which had been in a worrying downward spiral, but has now steadied. That is at around 130, 129 shillings to the US dollar for nearly 2 years. That is the whip from the majority side, engaging the speaker to see whether the quorum is about to be attained or not, and also trying to see how perhaps more members can be able to get to the chamber for the House to be able to attain its quorum and for the business to be able to commence, or rather the House to be able to commence. At this point, when the House lacks the quorum, that is where the leadership, more so the whips, are needed to be able to whip members who may be within the precincts of Parliament to get into the chamber. And of course, that is what we are waiting for, the House to correct. You will recall that also during the State of the Nation address, the President highlighted some progress in the agriculture and food security sector, emphasizing the strategic decision that the government made early on the subsidized production rather than consumption, and also that the shift had...
Sergeant at Arms, you can stop the bell.
All right, the quorum has
First
been attained.
order.
Allow me to hand.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Honorable Wako, on behalf of Majority Leader, proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 26th November 2025, morning sitting. 21st edition of the biannual report on the status of alcohol and drug abuse control in Kenya from the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. Number 2, annual report of the victim protection for the financial year 2024-2025 from the Office of the Attorney General. Number 3, the 4th annual report on the state of public-private partnership in Kenya for the financial year 2024-2025 from the National Treasury. Number 4, annual report for the fiscal year 2024-2025 on the implementation of the Equalization Fund. And number 5, the quarterly economic and budgetary review for the financial year 2025-2026 for the period ending 30th September 2025 from the National Treasury and Economic Planning. Number 6, annual report and financial statement for the Power of Mercy Advisory Committee for the financial year 2024-2025 from the Office of the Attorney General. Number 7, status of the implementation of recommendations of the first report of the Public Investment Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on non-compliant state corporations from the Office of Attorney General. And number 8, reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2025 and the certificates therein in respect of the following constituencies. 1, Fafi, 2, Garissa Township, 3, Igembe South, 4, Kangundo, 5, Gadiani, 6, Quisero, 7, Lagdera, 8, Laikipia East, 9, Laikipia West, 10, Mara, 11, Malava, 12, Mandera West, 13, Matayos, 14, Matungulu, 15, Mavokos, 16, Runyenjes, 17, Seme, and 18, Wajir North. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I lay.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
The Honorable Kikaria, you have an ordinary question.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to ask question number 81 of 2025 to the Teacher Service Commission. Could the Commission, 1, explain why a section of teachers within Nakuru Town East and Nakuru Town West sub-counties were not paid their enhanced house allowance between July and December 2019, particularly those from Tumaini House Secondary School, Uhuru Secondary School, Crater View Secondary School, Mogon Secondary School, Nakuru Boys Secondary School, Nakuru Girls Secondary School, and Upper Hill Secondary School. Second, 2, Honorable Speaker, provide a list of the affected teachers in the aforementioned schools and indicate the status of payment of the enhanced house allowances up to June 2025 And lastly, number 3, Honorable Speaker, state when the affected teachers will be paid the outstanding enhanced allowances for the said period. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The question will be replied to by the Departmental Committee on Education. Can we have an undertaking from the committee to confirm when we will have the answer? Is there a member of the committee here? Okay. Honorable Tonkei? To be replied before the committee. Okay, thank you. Okay, and then the next question is by the member Umulkhair Harun. She has asked for a deferral of the question. It's all right. It's all right. You cannot direct the speaker.
Sorry, Madam Speaker.
Yeah, so let's move to statements, because the other question is deferred. There is a request for a statement by Honorable Daniel Kiritho, member for Igembe Central. Are you here? Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I request for a statement regarding the non-payment of salaries to chiefs and assistant chiefs in Igembe Central constituency. Honorable Speaker, pursuant standing order 442C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Department Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the non-payment of salaries to chiefs and assistant chiefs serving in Igembe Central constituency. Honorable Speaker, the following public officers who are appointed and are actively serving in their respective administrative units since 13th August 2024 have not received their salaries or remunerations since appointment. Mr. Shandak Mwambia, Chief, Adero Yena location. Mr. Elias Mwenda, Assistant Chief, Dabero sublocation. Mr. Rafael Ndichu, Assistant Chief, Kanjo sublocation. Mr. Jeremiah Madeta, Assistant Chief, Liburu sublocation. Mr. Stephen Kimadi Geteye, Assistant Chief, Liliaba sublocation. And Mr. William Mugambi Manyara, Assistant Chief, Laikumukum sublocation. Honorable Speaker, these officers have been diligently discharging their administrative duties, maintaining law and order, and serving the people of Igembe Central faithfully. However, it is deeply concerning that for more than 1 year, they have not received their salaries. This situation is demoralizing, unjust, and contrary to fair labor practices, as guaranteed under Article 41 of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. Reasons for the delay in processing and payment of their salaries of the aforementioned chiefs and assistant chiefs. Clarification on whether these officers have been formally captured in the integrated personal payroll database. Measures that the ministry is taking to ensure that these officers are paid all their dues without further delay, and the steps being taken to prevent the recurrence of such delays in future appointments within the administration cadre. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Comment on that, Speaker.
No, today we... Okay, I think I'll okay, but make it brief.
Go on. I thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to add my voice to the statement sought by my colleague from Igembe. The same situation appears to be applying in Bonchari. We have 4 officers serving in the same ministry for a long time without their pay, And these are Robin Nyamanya Bundi, Ombari Mokwa Evans, Benjamin Opanga, and Elphys Moemi Onyancha. So as the minister addresses the issue of South Igembe, I would like for the same to be done for Bonchari with respect to these officers who've been serving without pay. I thank you.
Honorable Nyamai.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me a chance to also make a comment on this matter of chiefs and assistant chiefs. As the Honorable Karido has said, we have chiefs. I will avoid mentioning their names, Honorable Speaker, for ethical reasons, but in Motomo we have two chiefs, a chief and an assistant chief who have been serving and they have not been paid for the last 1 year. Also, the assistant chief for Makaye, an assistant chief in Ikanga, 6 of them, Honorable Speaker, in my constituency. It becomes very difficult because these people have children, they do not have food, it has not rained in my constituency for the last 3 years, and it is extremely difficult to continue working without pay. We can wait for operationalization of the new administrative units, but for those who have already been hired, we are now calling upon the ministry to make sure that these people are being paid. So as they serve justice to the constituents of the Honorable Karido, I would like to also ask that they serve justice to the chiefs and assistant chiefs in Kitui South. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. This will be dealt with by the Committee on Administration and Internal Security. Honorable Russell.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would really like to have a consolidated list from even the other 2 colleagues. Because I think this issue appears to be rampant, we want to address it directly with the ministry, and we respond to the House in 1 week's time.
Thank you. The Honourable Member for Marakwet West, you have a request for a statement. Honourable Timothy Toroitich.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 442C to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education regarding the allocation and disbursement of Transitional Infrastructure Grant (TIG) funds to learning institutions. Honourable Speaker, the TIG funds is a government initiative program managed by the Ministry of Education intended to support infrastructural developments in schools. Its objective is to address the infrastructural gaps in schools to accommodate the increasing student population following the implementation of the competency-based education, that is CBE curriculum, and the transition policy guaranteeing 100% transition of learners from primary to secondary education. However, several projects initiated by the Ministry of Education under the TIG program in Marakwet West constituency have stalled, leaving incomplete structures and disrupting learning in the affected schools. Additionally, the criteria and procedure used by the Ministry of Education in allocating and disbursing TIG funds to learning institutions remain unclear to stakeholders, raising concerns about equity, transparency, and accountability in the distribution of these funds. Honourable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education the following. 1, a report detailing the learning institutions that have received TIG allocations from financial year 22-23, 23-24, and 24-25 across all sub-counties in the country. Number 2, the legal, policy, or administrative framework guiding the said allocations and disbursements. Number 3, plans the Ministry of Education has put in place to ensure that the stalled projects that were initiated are completed, including expected timelines for completion. And 4, measures the Minister has put in place to ensure fair, transparent, and equitable distribution of TIG funds in learning institutions across different counties and constituencies. I thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Honourable Honorable Tonke, you want to give an undertaking on behalf of the Education Committee? When will it be responded to?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We will respond in 2 weeks.
Pardon? I think it better be 1 week because of recess. Yes. And Honorable Toroy.
But Honorable Speaker, looking at the calendar, we are going for recess on Thursday. So I don't think it will be possible for us to respond to that statement before Thursday. Honorable Speaker, you all know what is happening right now. Yeah, on Thursday there'll be by-elections and all that. So we undertake to respond after 2 weeks, or unless the member appears before the committee, so that we can respond in the committee session. Thank you.
And Honorable Toroitich, if I'm not wrong, I think you've asked this question before, isn't it? You made the request for a statement on this before.
Honorable Speaker, it's a different question. The other question was about SECIP. This one is about TIG funds. Honorable Speaker, whereas I respect the sentiments by Honorable Tonke, Honorable Speaker, this is a very serious issue. Remember, under the current CB program, we need more classrooms. There are many pending projects under the TIG funds that remain incomplete in our institutions. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, if the CS can appear before the committee on Tuesday, I'm ready to appear so that I put across the sentiments to the committee and to the ministry. So, Honorable Speaker, Thursday next week would be fair for the response.
I hope you have noted that, Honorable Tonke. There is a request for a statement by the Honorable Member for Starehe, Honorable Amos Mwago. Is he here? Okay, we'll defer it. And then there's another question by the Member for North Hor, Honorable Wario. May proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I raise request for a settlement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Lands regarding the prolonged delay in the registration of Trobi Bubisa community land. Honorable Speaker, Section 6 and 7 of the Community Land Act, Cap 287, clearly outline the legal procedures for registration of community land. On 25th September 2024, the Turbi Bubisa community, located in Northern Constituency, Marsabit County, undertook all the necessary steps in relation to recognition of their community land, including constitution of the Community Land Management Committee, holding of public participation forums, mapping and demarcation of their ancestral land, and submission of Form CLA1 for the recognition and registration of the community land to the Ministry of Lands. Despite this, the community is still yet to receive its title deed from the Registrar of Lands. This undue delay not only exposes the community to land insecurity and potential encroachment and development, but also undermines the spirit and the intent of Community Land Act, which was enacted to protect the land rights of pastoralists and indigenous communities across the country. Honorable Speaker, it is against this backdrop that a request for a settlement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Lands on the following. Reasons for the delayed registration of Trobi Bubisa community land by the Ministry of Lands. Timelines within which the ministry will complete the registration process and issue the title deed to the Trobi Bubisa community. And finally, measures and policies the ministry has put in place to ensure timely processing of requests for community land across the country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
That statement will be responded to by the Committee on Lands. Is there a member of the Lands Committee here? Yes. You want to give an undertaking on behalf of the committee?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Probably we'll give feedback in another 2 weeks' time. Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have a request for a statement by the member for Nyaribari Chache, Honorable Zahir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think there was a bit of a confusion this morning. I'm not supposed to do a statement. I'm supposed to raise a question. So I think I will defy it. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable, next one is the Honorable Member for Sabatia, Honorable Clement Sloya. Honorable Naomi Wako, you wanted to say something first? Hold on, Honorable Clement.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Putting into consideration the number of days and months that Honorable Clement's lawyer has been out because of health issues, as 13th Parliament, we thank God that he's back. And he has been very active and participating in different ways, but because of health matters, he has been away. We thank God that he's back, and I also want to thank the members who have stood with him as we welcome him, and also his constituents, because they have been very understanding. So welcome back. We are happy to have you back, and we thank God that you have recovered. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Clement Sloya. We will proceed. Yes. Request for a statement.
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 42C, I rise to request a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the Lunyerere Bridge along the Kisumu-Kakamega Highway. Honorable Speaker, the Lunyerere Bridge serves as a critical link for residents of Vihiga, Kakamega, and Kisumu counties and surrounding regions, facilitating the daily movement of passengers, goods, and services. However, the bridge is narrow, lacks adequate safety guardrails, and is poorly illuminated. As a result, it has increasingly become a black spot. Several lives have been lost over the years, with vehicles and motorcycles frequently plunging into the river when motorists lose control due to heavy rains or during periods of low visibility. The recurring loss of lives and property therefore calls for urgent intervention regarding the bridge's structural design and width. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. 1. Immediate measures and long-term interventions being taken by the Ministry of Roads and Transport to enhance the safety of motorists and pedestrians on Lunyerere Bridge along the Kisumu-Kakamega Highway. 2. Plans, if any, to expand the bridge to meet the required safety and traffic standards, including the expected timelines for commencement and completion. And 3, the immediate plans the Ministry has to install guardrails, reflective signage, road markings, and proper lighting to enhance safety of motorists and pedestrians on Lunyerere Bridge. I thank you.
This will be marked to the Committee on Transport and Infrastructure. Is there a member of the committee to give an undertaking on behalf of the committee? Yes, Honorable Zahir.
Honorable Speaker, we will do something about it.
Respond to it. Thank you. Maybe 1 week. Thank you.
Thank you. There is also a request for a statement by the Honorable Joyce Kamene, member for Machakos County. Just walked in on time. Give her the mic.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. allow me to make a request for a statement regarding compensation of victims of the 1999 train accident. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Department Committee of Transport and Infrastructure regarding compensation of Mr. Stephen Mboya Mutiso, a survivor of the 1999 train accident. Honorable Speaker, Mr. Stephen Mboya Mutiso of ID number 5090070 and a resident of Kaiwa in Kadhiani constituency, Machakos County, was involved in a tragic train accident on 24th March 1999 while traveling from Nairobi to Mombasa. The accident, which occurred when the train derailed in Tsavo National Park, claimed 32 lives and left more than 100 passengers injured. Mr. Stephen Mboya sustained serious injuries and was admitted to Kenyatta National Hospital for 8 months. Following his discharge, he has continued to attend monthly medical clinics. Tragically, his mother, the late Ngondu Mutio Musembi, was among those who lost their lives in the accident. The Kenya Railway Corporation undertook to cater for the burial expenses for the deceased persons and to assist with medical bills for the injured victims. Despite these assurances, the victims of these families have not received any compensation to date for the losses, injuries, and expenses incurred as a result of the accident. The prolonged lack of compensation by the Kenya Railway Corporation has caused immense financial hardship and distress for Mr. Stephen Mboya, who continued to face expense of medical care linked to the injuries sustained during the accident. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Department Committee of Transport and Infrastructure for the following. An update on whether Kenya Railway Corporation has compensated any victim of the 1999 train accident, and if so, an explanation to why Mr. Stephen Mboya Mutiso is yet to receive payment for the hospital bills incurred and burial cost of his late mother. The second, a clear indication of the timelines within which Kenya Railway Corporation intends to settle the outstanding dues occurred to Mr. Stephen Mboya Mutiso and any other deserving cases. And finally, the measures put in place to provide mental health support and regular psychological checkups for the survivors and the train accident to help them cope with the psychological trauma resulting from the incident. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Will be dealt with by the Committee on Transport and Infrastructure. Zahir, you want to give an undertaking?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, the committee will do a response within 2 weeks' time for both, whatever it is. Thank you.
Okay, we also have a request for a statement by the Honorable Member for Nandi Hills, Honorable Kitur.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the poor road design of Mombasa Malindi Highway, specifically Katzengo area. Honorable Speaker, the Mombasa-Malindi Highway is a key route that serves the coastal region, facilitating the transportation of goods and passengers and fostering trade and tourism. However, the highway, particularly the section at Katzengo, lack critical road safety features, including properly designed speed bumps, clear road markings, and substandard signage. This has exposed motorists and other road users to safety risks. Since the completion of the road, multiple accidents on the road have been attributed to the poor design of the road, especially the absence of visible road markings and signage. In fact, on 10th of April 2025, a 25-year-old Mr. Hezron Kiprotich of ID number 38317443 lost his life in a road accident at Katzengo area. Road users have raised concerns severally about missing signages and lack of traffic safety infrastructure, yet remedial action has not been taken to date. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. Number one, plans by the Ministry of Roads and Transport to install proper signages and additional safety interventions, such as reflective road lighting in the Katzengo section to reduce the risk of accidents along the Mombasa-Malindi Highway. Second is the expected timelines for completion of the installations of these road safety measures and design corrections. And finally, I wish to know what are the plans by the ministry to compensate the family of the late Mr. Hezron Kiprotich, and as well the measures that are put in place to support victims of accidents caused by poor road infrastructure. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
That will also be responded to by the Committee on Transport and Infrastructure. Honorable Zahir.
Honorable Speaker, we will respond within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have a request for a statement by the Honorable Mohammed Ado, member for Wajir South.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife regarding the unlawful relocation of 2 orphaned Somali or reticulated giraffes from Wajir County. Honorable Speaker, 2 orphaned giraffes were being cared for and protected by members of the local community and conservation volunteers in Wajir County were recently relocated from their natural habitat by the Kenya Wildlife Service without any local community involvement, in total disregard of established conservation principles, community rights, and the spirit of devolution. Such actions by the KWS undermine public trust, alienate local stakeholders, and threaten the sustainability of community-led conservation efforts across northern Kenya. Conservation must be anchored on transparency, accountability, meaningful community participation, and must not be imposed from above. Honorable Speaker, communities in arid and semi-arid regions have consistently demonstrated exceptional commitment to wildlife protection, often at a great sacrifice. It's therefore incumbent upon the national government and its agencies to uphold the principles of partnership and consultation in all conservation undertakings. Policy and administrative measures must ensure that the community must consent, and participation are mandatory prerequisites for any wildlife relocation on conservation intervention. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife on the following: a report on the relocation of the 2 Somali giraffes from Wajir County and a clear timeline for their return to their natural habitat. Number 2, measures being taken to ensure transparency and accountability in KWS decisions regarding wildlife translocation, including disclosure of any private entities involved in this particular case, and also measures being taken to establish an inclusive framework for wildlife management that recognizes community partnership, participation, and equitable benefit sharing. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
That will be dealt with by the Committee on Tourism and Wildlife. Is there a member of that committee here? Okay. Honorable Wako, you want to give an undertaking?
Yes, Chair. Yes, Honorable Speaker, I will make sure that the Chair will respond to this as early as possible because it needs some serious attention. Thank you.
And before we proceed, I'd like to recognize the presence of members of the ACK Church Kirinyaga Parish from Kirinyaga Central Constituency, Kirinyaga County. They are seated in the public gallery. On behalf of the National Assembly, we welcome you to the National Assembly. Thank you. Honorable Oundo, you have a statement, request for a statement?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for indulgence. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to provision standing order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor regarding the reported assault of a Kenyan worker by a foreign national at the TCA Mabati factory in Eldoret. Honorable Speaker, one Andrew Tabu Kagwa Waliera, hold of ID number 32422230, and a resident of Sibinga sublocation, Nambuku location in Funyula constituency, was captured on video being violently assaulted, demeaned and threatened by his Chinese supervisor, Mr. Shi Zinding. This repressive act, now in the public domain, has sparked widespread outrage and raised serious concerns about the treatment of Kenyan workers by certain foreign employers operating in our country. Honorable Speaker, the victim is currently in poor health, nursing serious injuries sustained during the assault. He has been unable to resume his duties effectively and shockingly is now reportedly facing threats of dismissal from employment. Even more worrying is the allegation that he was coerced into recording a video with his assailant purporting to forgive him, an act clearly aimed at repressing the truth and obstructing justice. This matter goes beyond an isolated case of assault. It touches on the dignity of Kenyan workers, the sovereignty of our labor laws, and the responsibility of the state to protect citizens from abuse, intimidation, and unlawful treatment within their place of work. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor on the following. A, lawful action being taken against the Chinese national, Mr. Shi Zinding, in accordance with the provision of the Kenya Labor, Migration and Criminal Laws. Steps B, or 2 steps being initiated to ensure adequate compensation and medical support for the victim, Mr. Andrew Kagwa Waliera, for the injuries, trauma, and economic losses he has suffered. And 3, the immediate and long-term measures the government is putting in place to prevent the recurrence of such assaults, mistreatment, violation of Kenyan workers by foreign employers,
and to guarantee a safe, dignified, and lawful working environment for all employees. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. That will be forwarded to the committee, the Labour Committee. Anybody from the Labour Committee to give an undertaking? Honorable Wako, then.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'll talk to the chair so that they respond before we go on recess.
Thank you. Now we go to responses to statements. We'll start with the Honourable Member for North Horr, Honourable Waria. Statement. Who's responding? Honourable Raso, you're not responding? Okay.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Member of Parliament for Northern Constituency, Honorable Ade Wario, has requested to be apprised of the plight of internally displaced persons in Marsabit County. The Honorable Member sought to be informed, plans to expedite and conclude the process of resettlement to the specific measures being implemented to restore and sustain long-lasting security and peace in Marsabit County. Honorable Speaker, Marsabit County has internally displaced people arising from 2017 to 2021 conflict. Consequently, the CS for Interior and National Administration has formed IDPs committee chaired by the County Commissioner. Other members of the committee include the county government members, members of parliament, and the committee has the following terms of reference. Profile of internally displaced persons who are displaced from their existing homes and farms. Make appropriate recommendation on how the problems of IDPs can be resolved. Honorable Speaker, the following measures have been taken. 1, formation of a county peace committee. 2, all political activities which are geared towards community animosity and divisions have been banned. 3, intensify both mobile and foot patrols, particularly in vulnerable and high-risk areas. 4, establishing temporary checkpoints along key route and access point to monitor movement and intercept any highway criminal activities, enhance surveillance, and ensure a quick police response. And 5, revitalization of community policing committees to strengthen collaboration between law enforcement agencies and local communities. And 5, community engagement and public sensitization through public barasas and consultative forums to sensitize residents. Signed by Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, EGH, Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration. Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit.
Honorable Waria, are you satisfied? Do you have anything to say?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First, I would like to appreciate the response by Honorable Dido Raso, who also comes from the from the county and also affected by the plight of the IDPs. I wish to make it clear to this August House that the profiling of IDPs was done between 2022 and 2023. Since then, no action has been taken in order to resettle, rehabilitate, and compensate the IDPs. So in the statement, what I failed to realize is I made it very clear that we wanted to understand where this process has reached. In terms of timeline, unfortunately in the statement, no mention of resettlement, what action has been taken in terms of compensation has been mentioned in the statement. More so, the settlement has not also given timeline on when these IDPs will be resettled. So basically, the statement is generic, is unsatisfactory, and doesn't meet the aspirations of the communities who have been affected by the conflict in Marsabit. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I think, Honorable Raso, your committee then you have to send back the request for clarification from the ministry.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I come from that area, and I'm fully versed with what Honorable colleague there is stressing. One thing we must appreciate from this government, today there is peace in Marsabit. But from 2017 up to the general election, we were fighting and there was apparent absence of government. And today, the reason of us talking about this is because there is peace. Secondly, the government has gone further to form committee and also peace committee, so that there is.
I think, Honorable Raso, you are now holding brief for the ministry. I think all we need is your confirmation that you will seek the 3 clarifications that he wants.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Well guided.
Okay, there's another response also to another question by the member for insecurity in North Hall. Honorable Raso, you have the response.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Member of Parliament for Northern Constituency, Honorable Adewari, was requested to be apprised of the status of insecurity in Northern Constituency. The Honorable Member sought to be informed, 1, status of investigation into attacks against constituents of Northern, particularly in Shur, Awaye, Balesbura, Basic, Sarimo, and Korka. 2, the long-term measures being implemented to restore and sustain long-lasting security and peace. Honorable Speaker, the following incidents were reported in Northern Constituency in the recent past. 1 is livestock theft within Korka sublocation. On 1st March 2024, it was reported at Northern Police Station that Gabra herders who were grazing in the Lolo Ade area could not account for their 46 camels. The same was booked in OB 080103-2024. The police officers joined the herders in the search. They later established that the camels had crossed into Loyangalan sub-county through Moite, an area predominantly inhabited by the Turkana community. Subsequently, security and peace committees from both Northern and Loyangalan convened a meeting with Turkana elders, urging them to engage their kinsmen to release the stolen camels. The meeting yielded positive result, leading to surrender of 27 camels and 4 calves at Gas ASTU camp, which were later handed over to their rightful owners. However, the Turkana elders maintained that the Gabra community had overstated the number of missing camels. A team of officers led by the sub-county police commander visited the scene and established that there were approximately 20 suspected armed Turkana bandits who had raided a Gabra Manyata at around 0100 hours, where they stole 464 goats and sheep, killed 1 camel and injured another, which were approximately valued at 3 million. The stolen livestock were driven towards the Dakar area of Loyangalan sub-county, and subsequently a joint multi-agency security operation was mounted in the Moite area, leading to recovery of 142 goats and sheep. Thereafter, there was a reconciliatory peace meeting led by the Northern Sub-County Security Intelligence Committee. The Sub-County Security and Intelligence Committee has confirmed that Sarimo area, which is within Chargulo's sub-location of Northern location, remains a security hotspot owing to its expansive grazing fields and a single major water point contested by the Gabra and Turkana communities. Madam Speaker, the other incident reported is theft of livestock in Shur area. On 25th November 2024, a report was made at Shur Police Post. 150 camels were stolen and one person fatally injured. The report was booked by OB02 25/11/2024. Police officers, with the support of local residents, recovered all the stolen camels and returned them to their rightful owners. The third is insecurity incidents in Balesbura and Bisik areas. On 6 September 2025, a banditry attack occurred in Balesbura and Bisik location within Marsabit North Sub-County, resulting in the fatal injury of 3 Gabra pastoralists and serious injury to 1 person in the Dambala Badana area. Following the incident, an inquest file 04/2025 was opened, and chiefs from both Marsabit North and Loyangalan sub-counties recorded their statement. Insecurity within Loyangalan sub-county. Honorable Speaker, on 13th October 2025, a report was made at Loyangalani Police Station by Epus Lichochi that suspected Gabra bandits had attacked and fatally injured a herder at one of water wells within gas location of Northern Sub-County. The incident was booked in OB. The deceased body was later interned in Loyangalani, followed a postmortem. On 19th October 2025, suspected Turkana bandits, in what is believed to be a retaliatory attack, shot and killed Guyo Elema Halake while he was herding cattle in Milima Siriko in gas location, Northern Sub-County. The long-term measures being implemented to restore security within the area. 1, STU camp at gas continue to enhance security within hotspot areas. 2, security agencies are sustaining continuous disarmament operation targeting illegal possession of firearms. 3, recruiting National Police Reservists to complement the police in the fight against banditry. 4, revitalization of community policing forums. And 5, facilitating sustained dialogue between communities through regular meetings aimed at fostering mutual understanding. Signed by Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, EGH, Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration. I beg to respond, Honorable Speaker.
Member for North Horr, do you have any?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The incidences of attack reported by the ministry are just a few among many others which were inflicted on the peace-loving people of North Horr. According to the report issued on 1st March 2024, a total of 46 camels were stolen. Out of these, 27 camels and 4 calves were later surrendered to their owners. The attackers were reported that 32 camels entered their territory, against the 45 reported by the community, while 4 died and 2 were killed by hyenas. However, the figures do not add up, revealing their clear contradictions. The 4 camels reportedly died while in the hands of the aggressors, and therefore compensation is required. The key question remains, what plans does the government have regarding the 13 missing camels? Honorable Speaker, on 2nd October 2024, it was reported that Turkana herders attacked Gabra satellite camps, stealing 464 sheep and goats, killing 1 camel and injuring another. According to the response by the ministry, only 142 shots, that are sheep and goats, out of 464 were recovered, leaving 322 still in the hands of the aggressors. Therefore, I'm seeking answers on when the remaining livestock will be recovered and returned to the rightful owners. Honorable Speaker, on 6th September 2025, heavily armed militia ambushed Gabra herders, killing 3 innocent herders instantly and injuring 1, who remains hospitalized and still not out of danger. 81 days after this incident, no arrests have been made yet. In a country governed by the rule of law, this raises serious questions about justice and accountability. Despite consistent intelligence reports and warning of impending attacks, the security apparatus has repeatedly failed to avert the losses. Honorable Speaker, on 13th of October 2025, it was reported that suspected Gabra herders attacked and fatally injured a Turkana herder at a Wano water point. However, Wano is located deep inside Northern constituency, raising a serious question about why the victim had traveled so far deep into the area without the knowledge of the Gabra herders. This unusual movement suggests that the victim may have been on a serious mission. Furthermore, no evidence has been presented to prove that the Gabra herders were responsible for the killing, because there's no reported incidences of attack on that particular day.
What's your point of order, Honorable?
The honorable member, I don't know whether he's in order to continue reading while he's not giving a statement. He's supposed to be debating and refer to the notes, but I think he's reading the statement. I don't know whether he's in order.
Okay, take that into consideration, Honorable Wario. Proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I think I gave my statements long ago, and that's why the honorable member was able to respond. And I'm just giving facts about the irregularities within the statement, which was presented by the committee chair. Honorable Speaker, attacks on Gabra herders still is ongoing. 1st November 2025, according to the book OB number 10/1/11/2025, an attack on Gabra herders in Sibiloi area were reported, killing 1 herder, Jilo Kurni Golbo, aged 30 years, injuring 2 others, Mr. Roba Kurni Golbo and Abudo Yatani Wario, aged 25 years. And the attackers stole 421 goats. Also, on 2nd of November, the following day, an incident occurred, booked OB 092/11/2025. The heavily armed Turkana militia attacked Gabra herders, killing 1 person.
Wario, maybe the best thing is to...
I'm just finished. I finished, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Yes.
But you'd do yourself good if you gave it to the committee, those incidences, because you have more incidences than what the minister has provided, so that you seek bring it to their attention.
So basically, looking at the number of livestock that has been stolen, those has been recovered, we still have a deficit of 1,355 sheep and goats, 40 donkeys, 28 camels, cattle, and 13 camels, which have not been returned yet. While the police have reported some have been recovered, but still in the hands of the aggressors. So I would like to know when this livestock will be recovered, returned to the rightful owners, and what measures will be put in place so that these attacks will not continue on that corridor. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
As you seek clarification from the ministry, I think you can take that into account.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Although you stopped me last time, I come from the area. I'm a member for SACU, representing Marsabit in this August Assembly. Currently, in Marsabit, the major problem is within an arc between Mount Kulal and Lake Turkana. It is a kind of 2-1-4 attacks among the pastoralist community. I will get more details from Honorable colleague and will share it with the ministry. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, thank you. And then the next response, again, is, I think you're going to be on your feet today. Again, Honorable Russell, to the request for a statement by Honorable Esther Passaris, member for Nairobi County.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the member for Nairobi County, Honorable Esther Passaris, requested to be apprised of a video clip that had been circulating on social media alleging a confession to rape by Pastor James Nganga. The honorable colleagues sought to be informed. 1,
measures being undertaken by DCI to authenticate and investigate the circulating video. 2, the mechanism in place to identify, locate, and protect survivors of sexual violence. 3, the plans by the government to regulate, monitor, and curb the misuse of artificial intelligence. Honorable Speaker, a video clip that circulated online in early October 2025, purportedly showing Pastor James Nganga confessing that in his youth, he and 7 other men participated in the gang rape of a woman. The clip went viral and sparked widespread public outrage. The DCI investigation launched inquiries into the matter. Pastor Nganga was subsequently summoned. He appeared before DCI in Nairobi on 15th October 2025 and recorded a statement. In his account, Pastor Nganga clarified that during a crusade held at Maili Tatu, Meru in September 2025, he had shared a personal testimony about his life, including his time in prison and the reason for his incarceration. He explained that the reference to a gang rape incident was a fictitious illustration drawn by stories shared by inmates, intended to emphasize that God can redeem anyone regardless of their past. An exhibit memo form has been prepared requesting the Communication Authority of Kenya to download and preserve the video clip from the provided link, determine whether it was AI generated or digitally manipulated, to certify the clip and furnish a forensic report. Meanwhile, the investigating officers in the process of identifying the congregants who attended the Maili Tatu crusade with a view to interviewing them to obtain further investigative leads. Honorable Speaker, investigations are ongoing with forensic digital result and intelligence analysis being awaited to aid in determining the authenticity of the clip. Upon receipt of the forensic report, the inquiry file will be forwarded to ODPP for perusal and appropriate advice. 2, mechanism in place to identify, locate, and protect survivors. Honorable Speaker, the NPS, through the DCI, has established mechanism to identify, trace, and protect survivors of sexual violence. 1, gender and children protection units, operational at county and sub-county levels. 2, the DCI collaborates with medical, psychosocial, and legal support services providers to ensure survivors receive comprehensive care and protection. 3, in cases involving online circulation of sensitive or explicit content, the Cybercrime and Digital Forensic Unit works with the Communication Authority of Kenya and social media platform. 3, survivors are referred to gender officers, counselors, and partner agencies for trauma counseling. And 5, the government continues to strengthen multi-agency coordination to ensure safety, privacy, and dignity of the survivors. Honorable Speaker, plans by the government to regulate, monitor, and curb misuse of AI and other digital technologies. 1, the recent assent by President to key legislation, including the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Amendment Bill 2024, has strengthened the legal framework. 2, recognizing that rapidly advancing digital tools, including generative AI, deepfakes, automated bots, and still editing software can be weaponized. Honorable Speaker, it is within the sovereign responsibility of any state to institute appropriate measures to differentiate its citizen from non-citizen. Honorable Speaker, given this fact, it will therefore be accurate. This is to do with I think, the Nubian community in terms of within, I think, the statement sought. There was the issue of discrimination of some of the Kenyan communities. And this is what the minister responded. Given this fact, it will therefore be not accurate to assert that members of the Nubian community have been denied recognition as Kenyan citizens. Madam Speaker, the government remains fully committed to promoting inclusion, equity, and fairness for all communities in Kenya through ongoing reforms in registration, identity management processes, signed by Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, Cabinet Secretary for Interior. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg to respond.
Thank you very much, Chair. The Honorable Passaris, do you have specific clarifications to seek on this one?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as you're aware, we've just started the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. So I rise with absolute concern about the escalating dangers faced by women, girls in our country. And that is what brought about the statement that I was seeking. The events of the past week, Madam Speaker, I want to bring this to your attention. The events of the past week has shown us that we are not dealing with isolated incidents when it comes to gender-based violence. It's a pattern. It's a pattern of violence, neglect, and institutional failure. Honorable Speaker, the matter involving Pastor James Nganga generated intense national debate. When the video circulated, the pastor came out immediately. He addressed it, reacted to it, and in many ways acknowledged the clip, while making further remarks, some directed at me personally. But this is not about personalities. It's about whether the incident he described, whether many years ago or recently, involved harm to a woman whose story remains unknown. Violence does not lose its gravity with time. A possible survivor or her family may be living with unanswered questions. If nothing happened, the public needs clarity, grounded in professional investigations. What the chair has just told me in the response. Madam Speaker, do you know we have what is appearing in textbook, in structures in government, but not the reality on the ground. I mean, this country needs something like Magufuli style or Karisa Maitha, where you just take the bull by the horn and do something about it. Just this week, there's been a disturbing TikTok video of teenage boys harassing women in broad daylight, grabbing them, slapping them, dragging them, schoolgirls into videos without their consent. Why? Because they're looking for likes. That is sexual harassment. What are we doing about it? Madam Speaker, as I said, we are in the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. There is Rita Mweni, Roysambu, Starlet Waho, South B, Mary Wangui, Kasarani, Christine Soeta, Kakamega, Brenda, an MKU student in Thika, Irene Ayemba, and then there's Abigail. Abigail, here in Kasarani. Now I want you to listen to this because you always interrogate Interior, okay? When Abigail's mother called recently and asked, what is the status of the investigation on my daughter? This is what the police told her. Wait, we have other cases. And then here you're telling me that we have structures and we are doing what is necessary, we are giving counseling, we're investigating. No, we are failing. Okay? Honorable Speaker, no parent should have to hear that, wait, we have other cases. It is a reflection that the system is overstretched, it's under-resourced, and at times lacking in compassion. The Models Association have come to me and said they work in fear. They walk in fear. And I will be arranging for them during this period of 16 days of activism, not by bringing a question here anymore, but by taking them to the PS of Interior, to the DIG and the DCI. I have actually spoken to the DCI personally and told him we need a human heart, we need compassion, we need to do something more than just say this is a case or a file.
Honorable Passaris,
No, Madam Speaker.
I'm being magnanimous, Yes. Because you started with talking about the 16 days of activism. Yes. But I would like you to specifically go to this matter that you had raised. Yes. So that the chair, if you are satisfied by the response that has been given, specifically on this one.
Yeah, but Madam Speaker, when it comes to this one, Pastor Nganga had already went to the DCI. He recorded questions. They're coming back to me on whether the AI clip is I mean, even for me, it's a bit ridiculous to tell me that we're still going to investigate whether it's AI or not. It is not AI. And now you're also going to the church to look at the congregants who listen. Pastor Nganga has owned up to this clip. So that is telling me you're wasting a lot of time. Get to the details. All right? There is a woman out there. Probably she died. Probably she bore a child. Probably she got HIV. Right? You're not telling me how you're going to identify in that area where the rape was concerned. Was there a reported case? Can you reach out? I've seen America solve cases with forensic. 30 years passed. What are we doing? Where is our forensics working? Is it working? And then when it comes to Pastor Nganga, do you know, I want to say, it is not when you seek forgiveness from God, right? It's more than just becoming a reformed person. It is also going and making peace with those people that you wronged. And if he wants, we should find the victim. And we should actually come out clearly that rape is not right. Madam Speaker, I want to take you to what's going on in South Africa today, because it's so important. It will happen in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, South Africa recorded this year alone 5,475 femicide cases. And now it's been declared a national disaster. We don't want to head there, but we are almost heading there. And we're heading there because there are files like that one of Abigail, right? And this one of the victim who was gang raped 8 times. I want you to imagine this. Gang raped by 8 women, left there lying like a dog. Those were his exact words. And you're coming here and telling me you're still concerned about the AI video? Get it real. It's not about the AI video. The AI video coming and clarifying to me that the AI video is actually an original, and the church members have said this and said that, find me the survivor. Find me justice for the survivor. Tell me what happened with this case. There must have been a patient in a hospital. There must have been a police case reported. There might have been a dead body. You can look at your records over 10 years. Where is the forensics? We should be able to solve these cases. These files of women who have been raped and killed in Kenya, and I've mentioned the names, they're gathering dust. The police are too busy. They have no compassion. They are bribed by perpetrators and nobody is getting justice. So this was one case that you could have run with, but here you are interviewing the people who had the clip. That is not the case. The case is about the survivor. Tell me what you're doing about the survivor. You have not responded to me about the survivor. Abigail's case, they said they have no reagents to do the DNA with the chief prime suspect who was arrested, probably released and out at large to rape his next victim.
Thank you, Honorable
Madam
Passaris.
Speaker, this is serious.
Honorable Passaris, we fully understand that this is a serious matter. Chair, would you like to make a comment on this? Do you have specific timelines? Do the police have the ability? Do they have the financing that is needed? Do they have the tools that are needed? And are there any timelines that you're going to give the Honorable Passaris?
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I want to thank Honorable Passaris, first of all, for raising this particular matter. And indeed, if we must take this country serious, any crime by anybody, it doesn't matter at what level they operate in this country, nobody is above the law. And Pastor Nganga, whoever he is, I don't know him, he must be a personality who is known. He cannot take raping of a woman as a joke. And that is why the DCI had to call him. But the issue why AI came into the picture in this particular matter, his honorable colleague wanted to find out if this was actually an AI or it is a true thing that this gentleman talked from the pulpit. And that is why sometimes when you raise questions in Parliament, please don't try to mix things. Let us call a spade a spade. Was Pastor Nganga involved in this rape? If he is, then he must be pulled through to the end, including even prosecuting him. Indeed, he also confirms that he was incarcerated, he was jailed. Would it be on the same or on some other issues? On some other issues?
Chair, Chair, let us be specific. You are telling us what the DCI should do. You are the chair. Of course, in the absence of the chair, you are the chair. So when are these activities that you are indicating, when is it going to be done? Do you have timelines so that we can close this?
Madam Speaker, I'm not emotional about this matter. What I am about is facts. Honorable colleague, if she has more information on this matter, let her raise it so that we put DCI to question, including even some
Honorable Passaris. Honorable Passaris, you cannot, the chair is trying to respond to you, but you're also screaming. You know, do not do that. I've given you adequate time to raise your question. You have actually gone ahead and explained. I also let you do it, so let us give some 2 minutes to the chair, and that will be the closing remarks. Chair, be specific so that we can close this.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, just on this particular case, as a committee, we are going to summon the DCI. This could not be just the case. This could just be one of them, so that he explains to us what they are doing about this matter. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So in 7 days, so that we have timelines for this work, 7 days. Thank you very much. Next order. What is out of order, Honorable Member for Makueni constituency, Honorable Susan Kiamba?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I have been sitting here listening to responses for statements. Honorable Speaker, I'm very disturbed because I gave a statement on 13th March to the chairman of housing. I've risen on a point of order 2 times on this floor of a house. Honorable Speaker, I've not gotten any response. Honorable Speaker, I'm wondering, who should follow up? I've followed up in the table office everywhere, and I've not gotten a response. And this question, I was asking the chairman on behalf of Kenyans and on behalf of my constituencies. Honorable Speaker, what would be the way forward? Thank you. Way forward on getting a response, which I've asked on 13th March, and I've stood on the floor of the house on point of order twice, and ever since I've not gotten any response. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Well, are you a member of Housing Committee? And would you like to respond on that? You are sure that you have the response? Because I wanted to find out you do not have? Okay, where is the chair? And the chair is here. Thank you very much, Chair, for being in the House. Would you like to respond to this? 9 months down the line, the Honorable Susan Kiamba has not received a response on a statement that she sought on the 13th of March. And today we are going to end of November, end of the year. What is your response? In a minute, please.
Madam Speaker, I wish to request for time. You remember, Madam Speaker, when that question was raised, we went for recess, and of course we had organized to come and give a reply, and then the minister has not done a good report on it, so we're still requesting. I will still request for probably 1 week so that I can respond to it.
Okay, from March to now, fair enough, review your documents and give a response in, you said 1 week. So be it. Thank you. Next order. Before we go to that, Honorable Rahim Dawood. Honorable Rahim. Honorable Suzanne, so that we move to the next business, the chair said that you're going to get a response in 7 days, in a week.
You know we are closing the session. and now you have ordered in 1 week. So I think, am I being assumed? Because now it is past 3 sessions, and now you have said within a week I should be answered. Will it be online, or how will I be answered? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Suzanne, for your information, we still have a week in this house, and this is a house of records, and the chair has made a commitment that you will get your response in the next 1 week. So 1 week, good enough, and have you accepted? You accepted, so thank you. Honorable Dawood?
Madam Speaker, I want to do for the President's speech, that's why.
Very much. Next order.
Order number 8, the Local Content Bill, National Assembly Bill number 45 of 2025, first reading. A bill for an act of Parliament to provide a framework to regulate local content in Kenya, to promote the local industry, provide the sourcing of locally produced goods and services, and for connected purposes. Order number 9, motion, debate on the President's address, second allotted day.